Fuck me. Mini tongue.
This is the Dude Loft Mountain Podcast with your hosts, Gabe, Tanner, and Tommy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dude Loft Mountain. I'm your host, Gabe, joined with Tanner.
Howdy.
And Tommy.
Thoughta.
What?
That's Thoughta.
Oh, dude.
I didn't hear that at all.
You called me something. I was like, what?
Thoughted. How many episodes is it going to take before you run out of introductions, Tommy? Different ways to say hi.
Oh, no, there's like 187 languages.
It's true.
I mean, for the record, I say hi sometimes. I'm just usually pretty blitz, so I'm like, ha.
A different one each time.
Yeah.
And Tanner, do you say howdy each time?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Okay. Well, guys,
you said howdy to Cher.
Did I?
You tweeted at Cher when she said hey one time. Said,
oh, yeah. It was just the one word in her tweet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you see her tweet?
The TikTok tweet?
The TikTok one?
Dude,
yeah,
that was fucking surreal.
Dude, she's so weird.
I watched it on TikTok last night when I put it up. Like, as soon as she joins, I think everybody got that.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I was like, I'm not going to bring this up because they're going to see it. It's who we follow.
Yeah,
and it's so hard to watch.
Yeah,
I also started folling other people and liking tweets and not just doing the whole share thing on the Twitter page because it was driving me nuts.
Oh, I bet
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, it's super hard to keep up with her and shit because she's obviously losing it a little bit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, her just like, hi, I'm on TikTok. Cut.
Yeah, and then she's like, hi, I'm Cher, but you already knew that.
Yeah,
like, I was going to introduce myself, but I don't need to. That's so weird.
Sent me down a rabbit hole. Which brings up an interesting point that I want to talk about real quick now that we're on the subject. Number one, as we all know, Cher was fucking banging in the 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, dear God.
This is none.
Yeah, I mean, my type out the ass. And I think she's America's type. Because think about this. One of the biggest stars of the last 5 decades is Cher. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay? Like, everyone knows who Cher is. Pretty much everyone.
Who's bigger, Cher or Madonna?
Cher.
Madonna's not American either, is she?
No, Madonna's American.
But she's Canadian. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways, they probably disowned her at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure she's American. But Cher has been huge in every decade for something. Like since like the 60s, right? Mm-hmm. And so anyway, I was looking back and I was like, I've never read Cher's like Wikipedia page. And like just looked at like, because I like looking at people's like
all
how they got started, like what they did, and it sounds like she's been the same person all these years, but like a similar mindset because there was a bunch of talk on there about how much she talked about in her like younger years about how she was like I didn't even really think about school, like she dropped out when she was 16. She was just like I just knew I was going to be famous and I wanted to be famous, and so that was her goal and she did it. But the interesting thing is. Her name is Cheryl Lynn Sarkeesian, right? Which is an Armenian name.
Yeah.
Some of the hottest women in the American zeitgeist, and I say hottest with big air quotes because I'm saying hottest in terms of population attraction. So what kind of society is setting is like the hot women are Armenian. All of the Kardashian chicks. Those are all the people that like all the Instagram influencers want to be. That's all who they model after and everything. Armenian, Cher.
Interesting.
Armenian. So there's something in the Armenian bloodline. And I mean, I've known this for years, obviously with my attraction to Middle Eastern women. But there's something in there that Americans are like, that. Like, that's hot as fuck. But
yeah, there's somewhere in the mixture, like in the middle of the Middle East, somewhere in there, where there's just beautiful people. They're just beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Bosnia, like they're just beautiful humans.
No, yeah. Like Middle Eastern women are gorgeous.
As long as you don't claim to be from there, you will be famous in America because you're right. Society has deemed them as like, that's what we want. Show us more.
Are you Armenian, Gabe?
No.
Tommy, are you?
Do you think I'm beautiful?
Fuck, dude, we're never going to make it.
I know, bro. Like, how am I supposed to break the internet? Like, I'll just have to sit on it.
I'll get, I can get some Botox to look Armenian. The Kardashians
Yeah,
do.
do it.
Actually, the Kardashians are slowly ruining their lives by becoming more and more European looking, and they're just getting their show has been canceled and everything. Just because people are like,
but
"Ugh,"
that show ran for how many fucking seasons?
Oh, no,
Made
for
them
a
all
long
billionaires,
time, right?
millionaires. Like fuck.
forever.
Yeah, Kendall Jenner, she's dating D-Book.
That's the model, or is that the makeup one?
She's the model. The makeup one is not Caitlyn.
Kylie?
Kylie.
Which
there
one's
you go.
older?
The oldest one?
No, which one's older of the two? Kendall
Kylie's
and
the
Kylie.
youngest. I think Kendall's the second youngest.
Kendall looks like she's like 40 now. I saw a video of her not too long ago, and her cheeks are all like Botoxed up. Like she looks rough.
Are you sure you're thinking of the same one?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because I just saw pictures of her and she's looking pretty hot.
They both look similar, right? Like they have similar faces.
No, Kylie looks like
No.
shit. Kylie Jenner looks like
It
shit.
depends on if
I don't
they've
know
gotten
any of
their-
them, dude, except for
if they've gotten refills or
Kim.
not,
You're talking about
because of the Ray J video.
maybe-
no, just because she was married to Kanye.
Oh,
no,
and you're-
that's
that's the only one that he knows, Kim.
Oh, Kim. Kylie is this one, that one. That's
Okay.
So she-
pull up a picture of Kendall. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Who was the one that I saw?
She's the tallest and the slenderest.
yeah.
There-
This
so-
is Kendall Jenner.
Okay, so Kylie looked bad in the video that
No,
I
yeah,
saw.
Kylie looks like shit.
It was like it was from a TV. It was like a clip from their show, but the two of them were like sitting on a couch, and Kylie I think had like some really long fake nails, and Kendall was like, how can you like you can't be able to do things with those kinds of nails?" And she's like, "Yeah, I can do anything with those nails." And then Kylie just like closed her fist and was like, "Do that." And then the other one was, "Okay, I can't do that."
my favorite thing.
But the one with the nails looked really bad in that clip, and I think that was Kylie.
is probably Kylie, but that's Kendall and D-Book
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
But my favorite thing about those nails, like the super long nails or super pointy nails, is I've got a couple. I don't know what they like to be called these days. Female friends, woman friends. I don't fucking know. I get yelled at for calling my female friends sometimes. So,
I mean, it does sound a little weird.
well, what else are you supposed to call them?
A friend.
Friends. That
I don't know why you have to
girls.
specify their gender.
I guess that's true. I guess it's because guys can wear nails too. Why do you got to be such a bigot?
Wait, how did you turn this around on me with the
I don't
nails?
know,
I'm
but it
so
was
confused.
really good.
Yeah.
I watched it happen, and I was like,
Yeah.
"How did he do
What?
that?"
It's called a defense mechanism, sir, and I've been training for years with it. No, but I always ask her, one in particular, I always ask her, I'm like, "How do you wipe your ass?" I'm like, "How do you wipe your ass? You gotta like dig shit out of your nails and stuff." Like
Bidet.
How the fuck? No, she doesn't have a bidet. So I'm like, "What the fuck you doing? You just got dirty ass? You just jumping in
Maybe
the
she
shower?"
just like doesn't use her fingertips, but kind of like the pads.
Does it like she's feeding a horse treats?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what? I don't understand.
Maybe she like karate chops. Just
I had a girlfriend who had like the regular length, like fake nails, and I like had no problem with them before that because it was such a it was obvious how uncomfortable they were to have. Like I'm totally like obviously it's your fucking body, your fucking hands, you do whatever the fuck you want, but like they went from being regular sized, which I was like that seems inconvenient, to now they're either extra long or extra sharp or both.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, this is like it has to be massively inconvenient.
And dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, your nail's going to break, but you still probably could cut people with that.
Have you
shit.
seen the gray?
Yeah.
I like to imagine that people with those nails
When he wraps
do
the
toilet
broken
paper
bottles.
like through their
Oh,
fingers
God.
instead of the keys.
Yeah.
And that's how they're wiping.
I've
Just fist in there.
I've never
Yeah.
had acrylic nails put on, but I've had my nails done, and I don't know. Obviously, it happens because this is not a deterrent of thousands of people who go and get their nails done all the time. But I am kind of curious. Maybe it's a skill. Maybe after the first time it happened, you're like, okay, now I know what not to do.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm a dude, so I have no place to talk, I guess. Like I have no experience with it. I understand the aesthetic part of it, like in wanting to have like custom nails and shit like that. But like all of those friends who they had those nails and had them off, they always look so much more comfortable and laid back without them on.
Yeah, and
like
they
whenever
complain
they're doing
about them all the
things.
time when they have
Yeah.
them on too.
They're just it's honestly like to me like when I have mine, I never have mine done anymore. But when I do, it's having like if you're a performer and having your costume all on all the time, you can't relax. Your costume
struggle
is
to be
not
beautiful.
meant
Well, yeah, that's
to
the thing.
be,
It's
like,
yeah,
relaxed.
it's like I liked how I looked with pierced ears. I liked having the like the earrings and stuff like that. I fucking hated not being able to really take them out for a while because they wouldn't heal. And so I just took them out and was like, fuck it, I'm not going to do this anymore, like, and stuff like that. And that's how I feel like they get with nails. The problem is you go get your nails done once a month minimum when you have nails like that.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, that's like 60 to 90 bucks usually, right?
Yep.
Fuck me, dude. Like weed is available and the same price, if not cheaper. Why would you not?
Yeah. Well, I always think of it this way: is women spend every 2 weeks they get their nails done. Sometimes once a month, depending on who they do. But my sister Anna Lee, she used to get them done religiously every 2 weeks. But they're not as expensive. Your first set is really expensive, like you were saying. Then after 2 weeks, they grow a little bit to about right here, like to the, I would say like a quarter of your nail is showing. And then they just fill it and then sand it down. And that's way cheaper. So that's why you go every 2 weeks. Because if they grow anymore,
Okay.
they have to take them off and put a whole new
Well,
set on.
I guess I just don't. I don't know. Women are weird because as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, I think where lots of guys get confused and stuff whenever they're talking like me and they're saying like, you know, things like, I don't understand why women have nails. I don't understand why like women wear makeup or like too much makeup or like do this or do that. I feel like women, and I don't think I'm out of turn saying this, do a lot of their custom stuff for other women to like see and enjoy or like comment on and things like that. Whereas men do not do things for other men. We do things to get the attraction of women. But then, and I'm not saying that's for every custom thing they do, but I feel like I don't know one guy who I've ever heard been like, oh, she's got these fucking nails, they're so hot, or like they're so good looking, or like anything like that. It's kind of like when a dude gets super buff. And he's like, I'm gonna get super buff, get all the fucking ladies, and all he gets is a bunch of fucking gym rats around him. Like, hey,
Yeah,
bro, how's
they're
your
looking good, dude.
Yeah, look at those fucking traps, bro. Like, what are you doing? What's your nutrition like? Like,
But like for the same reason that a lot of dudes, and not just dudes, but like people in general, go to the gym to live a better life and feel better for themselves. I think that's the same thing with makeup and getting your hair done and getting
Yeah,
your nails
yeah,
done because
and
it makes you feel good too.
yeah, and I wasn't saying that that's not part of the reason. Is that it's like, oh, I want nails. I want like
You're just
I
saying-
had pierced ears because I wanted to have pierced ears. Like that. That's just how it goes. It's just weird to me that
There's a thing that you don't like. Okay, so there are
it's
people
just
who
so
have.
expensive.
It
it's
is.
just so goddamn
No,
expensive.
if you think about it, like you said, it costs what, like $60 every 2 weeks to get your nails done, or like 90? How much was it?
I would say, on average, probably $60. There's definitely
Yeah.
times when it's more, but then after that, it's like $20.
Yeah.
Well, I work for a bank and I see nail charges from places, and sometimes they're in the triple figures.
Oh yeah,
Mhm,
because
not
it's
surprised.
usually their first one, or they're doing all 20 of their nails, and they're all custom.
Oh, could you imagine getting acrylic nails on your toes?
Oh,
Do people do that?
I've watched people do it. Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Fucking walking around like Smeagol?
Some people have to, like their nail was broken or cut off, or something happened, like they got hurt at work, and so they get like a fake one put on.
Oh, well, that's different.
But no, some people just don't like that their nails are really tiny, and they put fake ones on. But I've seen all kinds of stuff when I go, because like I'll go and get my feet done because I won't cut my own nails because I have.
Dude, pedicures are so nice.
They are so
Yeah.
nice.
I haven't had one in years.
They're so good.
Oh, in years. Okay, I thought you never had one before.
No, I
So-
had a couple when I was like younger. But
Did you like it?
No,
No.
I'm a very weird individual where I do not like having acts of service done to me, and so the entire time I was just sitting there and I was just like,
Pretend it's a robot.
why?
Yeah,
Why?
Just pretend it's a
I
robot.
can't. I
Don't look at them.
cannot.
There's something like
Dehumanize the small Vietnamese lady who's
Yeah,
currently
just
rubbing
put-
your man feet.
Put earphones on, close your eyes, read a book.
on the other side of that point of view, though, it's like there's something like instinctual or like emotional about helping other people through acts of service. Like that's why so many cultures have like massages and like pedicures and these kinds of things like ingrained in their day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Is like masseuses love what they're doing for the most part, because like there's some kind of like hormone or chemical that's like released in your brain that like makes you feel good about making someone else like have relief.
To do acts of service, it makes me really happy.
It's very interesting.
Really happy.
Yeah, so do I. But I hate having extras done to you for me. Like, I mean, it's like just get away. And before we move on further, I do want to provide a little asterisk in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have actually, now that I think about it, complimented my friend's nails before because of the art on them.
Yeah.
Because I think that's cool. Like whenever like a nail lady like does like some really cool design or like some tie-dye effect on or something, I'm like, oh, that's fucking rad.
Yeah. Annalise nails are sometimes really cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only time I've complimented someone's nails is when I'm being scratched by them. Yeah. They're like slightly long.
I was
like,
gonna say,
like Karina, when her nails get a little long and she's like scratching my back or something, like, wow, those are nice.
Wow, you got some good back digging nails right
That's
there.
what I was going to say is, so there are some men, like when I worked as a bartender, usually old men would tip pretty girls if they didn't have their nails done. And they would say, when I come back, I want your nails to be done, because they prefer that. They prefer to have long-haired women.
That's kind of
creepy
weird.
shit,
That's really
dude.
weird.
They're usually old, but that's just how they are. They're used to the stay-at-home wife who has their hair down, up, curled, whatever, and have their
I don't know.
nails done all the time. They just want someone who's put together. So there are people who are into that, but I do think that nails are something that girls do, and it's not as expensive. It kind of just replaces our haircuts.
Yeah.
We don't get our haircuts done like every 2 weeks like normal guys, because I'm growing my hair out. You will sometimes cut your own hair. Tanner, you get your hair until it gets in your way, basically.
Pretty much, until I don't like the way it looks.
But most
which
of the
could take
time-
like months.
Most, Instagram people, those kinds of people who are going to be photographed or want to go out with their friends or just look really good for themselves, but also because they want to look like their best self for their person who they're pursuing.
Yeah.
They're every 2 weeks. Their fades are done, sometimes once a week, and those are around $20. So it just replaces haircuts in my head.
I guess for me, it's a disconnect problem where, as far as like my friends go and like any significant other romantic interest or anything like that, I'd prefer them to be at the most comfortable.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, if you're throwing on nails and doing makeup and like going and getting your nails done every 2 weeks, go and get your hair cut like every 3 weeks or something like that, because you're trying to like impress me or like keep me or like, and this obviously it doesn't apply to my friends, but or like trying to do something along those lines, don't. I would prefer you not wearing makeup every day or not having acrylic nails or not doing this, not doing that. If it means you're going to be more comfortable or you're going to save money or you're not going to be as stressed because you're having to go to all these appointments and stuff, I would much rather that. So for me, it's when I see those things, I think about all the money and work that has to be done.
See it,
and I'm like,
you're just like, hey, so just in case you're doing this and for my benefit, I'm letting you know you don't have to.
yeah.
But most of the time, a girl's going to look at you and go, that's good to know. I just want to do it, but thanks. Most of the time, I think, because...
Well, yeah, no, I've had like talks like that with girlfriends before, and yeah, it goes either way. For certain things, it's like, yeah, no, I just prefer to do this. For other things, it's not. And like I had a girlfriend who shaved her arms. Mm-hmm. She didn't have hairy arms. She just shaved her arms, and she hated doing it because she would get like ingrown hairs and stuff like that. And I was like, well, why do you shave your arms? And she was like, I just grew up, and that's what I was told that girls do. And I was like, you don't have to. Like, not every girl shaves their arms. Like,
I don't.
Yeah, like, I'm like, unless, well, yeah, I'm like, unless you're
like already hairless. You don't shave your arms like for reals?
Yeah, no, for real.
no,
There's
he's
no hairs.
He's
there.
a hairless boy.
If you look really close, you can see it.
Yeah,
See
little
him?
peach
Oh, yeah,
fuzz.
they're real small. Yeah.
But so it's like, I told her, I was like, unless you're uncomfortable with your arm hair, like it's something like it's really thick and you don't like that or something like that, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's understandable. The first time that Tommy realized that I didn't have hair on my arms, we were walking side by side and someone was passing us in a hallway, so I had to get closer.
Brushed up against him.
And our arms brushed up against each other. And I forget that I'm supposed to have hair on my arms. So whenever I feel other people, I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, oh,
You hairy animal.
yeah. But then Tommy's like, what the fuck? You get your buttery smooth fucking skin away from me.
My skin immediately was like, gay man, you're touching a gay man, gay man. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I was like, I'm touching man.
He's like, why does it
But
feel
it
like
feels
that?
like baby's ass. I was like,
And I was like,
what is going on?
And I looked at him. I was like, I just put lotion on. What
That's
do you mean?
really funny.
And I was like,
It's-
you have no fucking hair on your arms.
It's like the same experience of when like you're sitting next to another dude and your legs like kind of you feel your hairs brush against each other, but like there's no hair. You're like, what's happening?
Yep. Yeah. It's, I had a friend in high school who shaved his legs. Don't know why.
Just cause.
Just
Was he in a
just
sport?
'cause. Theater.
Oh, tights, probably.
Yeah.
Or
I don't
he's
know.
gay.
He was, I could totally see this guy sucking dick in a gym bathroom, but he would probably never come out about it.
Oh, wow. 2021.
Anyway.
Happy Pride Month.
Oh yeah, 2021. It's 2021 in the cities, not necessarily in the smaller towns.
But no,
Pussy fart.
I
Dude,
used
every
to
time.
I used to shave my legs all the time, mostly because I started from swimming, and then I continued because it was supposed to grow thicker. It's a lie
Yeah.
because they look exactly the same as when I did when I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just lazy and I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But if someone looks at me and says, "Oh, do you want me to wax?" Go ahead, wax them all. Because I don't have hair, it irritates me when there is hair there because it's a different texture than the rest of my body. And my leg is the only spot on my body that grows hair.
That's a little bit more information than I ever wanted to know.
Yep.
But I mean, fuck, I guess you're lucky because I was like looking, I was in the shower this morning, I was looking down at my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think for Tanner, I don't think you can relate to this.
What?
Because I don't think you have this. But for some guys, there's a horrible moment when you turn like 18, 19, where you start getting your back hair and stuff like that. And you get shoulder hair.
Yeah. Well, so I don't have back hair, but on both of my shoulders, there's like 6 or 7 stray hairs, like right on the top of my shoulders
Yeah.
that grow to be like 3 inches long.
Damn, son.
They're not noticeable until you see them, and then you're like, "What the fuck? Why do you have 5 hairs on your left shoulder that are like really long?"
Yeah.
Longer than the hair on your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, but I was like looking down and I was like, holy fuck. Starting from my fucking finger, the knuckles on my finger, I have hair going all the way up to my arm. And it literally like, there's like tufts of hair on my shoulder, like not tufts, but just like a more collection, a bigger collection of it. And then I have like just small kind of trail hairs moving down to my chest hair. And I was like, I'm wearing a fucking sweater at this point. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, and for me, so in movies and stuff, sometimes I'll see someone take their shirt off, and I'm like, "Oh, there's hair." I was like, "That's right," because that's what's supposed to happen. I don't have hair. Like, I don't have hair anywhere on me.
Yeah.
And to me, that's normal. But I forget it's not normal.
Well,
and most people have to shave or nair or wax or laser hair remove to get to like my zero hairness.
I don't understand like the and once again, this is me just being a dude, but I don't understand like the aesthetic of like a man with a shaved like front, like chest and everything like that. Like, cause like you look at that, I mean, this is just coming from my slightly gay side. You look at a picture of Henry Cavill without his shirt on, shaved. It's like, damn, that's a good looking dude. You look at a picture of him with the shirt off in Man of Steel where he's got the full chest hair going on. It's like, that dude could fuck my daughter anytime, and I'd be like, please marry her.
But
like,
I think even in that picture, it's like trimmed because I'm pretty sure he's like a super hairy dude. If your whole chest is just covered in hair, like
Well,
David
yeah.
Hasselhoff, like that's
no,
that's weird.
There's manscaping that needs to be done
Yeah.
right there. That you need to trim it up to if you want to look good. You need to be able to do all that stuff. But I'm saying the full on wax because once again, so much fucking work, so much fucking work
And money.
to
And
do all
time.
this shit. And I'm like,
And
I
pain.
just like I don't care. Who if any girl I'm with is like I would like you better with a shaved chest, and I'm like then I guess you just need to go find someone else because that's not something I'm not willing to stand in the shower for an hour every single day and shave my fucking chest.
She'll probably be like, "I'll get a trimmer if you just let me do it."
But so
well,
what
if we turned it into something like that,
what if you had the money though to like get a massage every week, get like
I would
wax
never
or
do that.
wax or laser hair removal,
doesn't like acts
or
of
get your
service.
hair done every week? You wouldn't do any of those things.
I would still cut my own hair. I would never get a massage, and I would never get waxed.
If I had the money for it, I'd pamper myself. I'd do all those things.
Oh yeah.
Now I'd
Sometimes
pamper
I treat
whoever
myself.
I was with,
Yeah.
but I would never pamper myself. Like I pamper myself with like buying video games and shit, and like buying like fucking music production software and shit like that. Like
that's good.
that's what I do for me. But
I wish that I
Well,
was
like those are hobbies. It's not like self-maintenance though.
well, no, but I self-maintain.
Yeah.
Like in the shower and stuff, like I trim up the beard, I cut my own hair, like I manscape if necessary, like shit like that.
Thank
like,
you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, manscaping can mean many different things. But
Tanner?
yes, I shave my
Yeah.
ball.
you can't talk about too much information because we got a text from you out of the blue
What text?
Which one?
where you're like, nothing's better than a freshly shaven asshole.
What was that?
Oh.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, I was like,
This
is
was like a
from
while
Ta-
ago,
Yeah,
right?
this was a good time.
And I was
ago.
like, is this from Tanner? I was like,
Well, no, that's because I think we were previously talking about like I think you had said that there was some kind of like chemical that people use to like get rid of the hair
Yeah,
and
Nair.
like
oh, when you
Nair?
bleach and wax your asshole?
is that what it's called?
Yeah.
no, there's different. There's
Well,
a
yeah,
different,
Nair
those
you
are
don't
three
wanna use
different
on
things.
your asshole.
No, I don't.
balls.
I don't
Nair-
know. I know we've previously talked about it,
So-
but I think I had said that following that conversation as
yeah,
a joke.
Yeah, you did. But you texted us, and it was like a different day. So I was like, what is happening? I was like, I feel like straight men are just weird.
True,
dude.
Very true.
I will never shave my asshole for a couple reasons, but one of them is I've stumbled onto a Reddit thread, like an Ask Reddit thread one day, where it was talking about, it was like men who like shave their assholes, like what's your experience, something like that. And every one of them was like, I fell in love with the feeling of having a shaved asshole. Like I never like.
Keep in mind, you're also on Reddit, where a lot of fucking weirdos.
Well,
live.
yeah, this is true. But then all of them said, but when it grows back, it is the worst itch of your life. And I was like, nope. I was like, I don't need that.
I think that depends on the coarseness of your own hair.
Well, I got pretty coarse fucking hair.
Yeah.
So,
Well, are they saying shave it like with the razor, or are they using like an electric razor to get it down to like half an inch or like something smaller?
no, I'm pretty sure they were just like nairing it basically.
What does that mean?
So,
Like
okay, let
waxing
me
it. Well-
explain what Nair is. So, Nair is a lotion you don't rub in, and it is a chemical that smells like nail polish remover. Do you know what that smells?
Yes.
Like a inside of a salon, like
Yeah.
pedicure place. So, it is recommend like there are different types. You should never put regular Nair on any sensitive area because it will burn the fuck out of you.
Learned that one the hard way.
But there's like sensitive Nair that you still don't put directly on a sensitive area. You put like just where the hair is, like
Yeah.
barely. You just kind of coat it and wait your however many minutes, and then you wipe it off with the washcloth, and it comes off. The hair's gone.
It basically has chemicals in it that burns the root of the hair off,
Okay.
and then it
Yeah.
just comes off.
So that's the problem. That's why they're itching, because when the hair like grows back and
From
it's
its
growing
follicle.
through the skin,
Well, yeah, it's having to, yeah.
that's what's fucking irritating. They need to use like one of those like Manscaped things you see in the ads
Like you would use
to
for
cut
your
it to cut
face.
it down to like a quarter of an inch or lower.
How do you know so much about this?
Because I do it, Tommy.
You do?
Yeah.
He was serious in his text. That's why I said I was like, you
No,
can't.
you don't shave down to the skin,
Yeah.
but like once your hairs get long, it's kind of gross back
Well,
there.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
like cut it down like you're like to the length of what your beard is right now, and it's no
I don't like
longer a
that
problem.
comparison at all. Don't ever compare your asshole
No,
to
but
my
like
beard again.
I made the mistake one time in like high school. I was like a sophomore or junior, and like I had shaved like the lower part of my abdomen, like down to skin, like with a razor.
Yeah.
And found out that when it grows back, it itches like a bitch.
Yeah.
So like, don't shave it down to the skin. You just use one of those like bzz things to just kind of cut
Well,
off
yeah,
the
that's
top
why,
of it.
That's why I don't shave
Yeah,
anymore.
I
just
would.
trim.
I would recommend for anyone with sensitive skin or skin that's just not used to being shaved, to if you want no hair at all, only get it waxed or start like a laser hair removal process.
There's also
But if not, then do what Tanner said.
Yeah,
Trim it because like my face, I trim it. I do not shave it because if I shave it, it one takes forever and only gives me like 2 or 3 days extra. But I always get at least one really painful hair that comes back.
Dude,
Yeah.
when I played that basketball game after shaving, like the day
Yeah.
after, I couldn't run down the court without like having to scratch. it was the worst.
yeah. Oh yeah, and you're sweating and
Oh, it
shit.
was terrible.
Yeah, no, the I stopped shaving my face and just started trimming because the next morning after I'd shave, I would have I don't know if you ever remember because I shaved a couple times at Macy's. it was like Velcro. Like my face was like Velcro because I'd have stubble, and it was so like thick at that point that if I just took my hand and like tried to wipe it across my cheek, it would like stop. And so like if I was put like lotion on my face or anything, it was like this uncomfortable feeling and everything. So I went to trimming, but there's a secret. There's a secret sauce called Veet, which is not Nair, but it is Nair. But it's very, very sensitive.
Also
Nair.
a chemical lotion that you put on your...
same shit, but...
You put it on like
safe.
icing, not like lotion.
Yeah,
I feel
safer for the genitalia.
So sorry for everyone that we personally know that is listening to this conversation right
I don't.
now.
These are human things. You should get the fuck over it.
I kind of, these like self-care things, I really don't. I'm not like, I don't have any weird feelings towards.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there who are currently, having bloody balls every other day whenever they go to trim or some shit. So I mean, if I can save some balls, with a
I'm also
endorsement,
do it for the balls.
Yeah.
Tommy.
I'm also the
I'm
oldest.
a fucking hero. Okay?
I'm also the oldest male sibling. The oldest sibling, who just also happens to be male, with more brothers than sisters. So I've had to have a lot of these conversations so often that I'm like, this is just part of life, and you all need to either ask you the questions that you need to ask so that you don't harm yourself.
Yeah.
Learn from others' mistakes, or you're going to get really uncomfortable really quickly.
Can you tell me where babies come from?
Depends. Depends on if it's a same-sex relationship or not.
They come from the butt if it's two boys. Right? They poop them out. I seen it.
I seen it.
I've been to Serbia. I seen it.
What does that have to do with Serbia?
Anyway, we were talking about D-Book earlier. The Suns are doing fucking fantastic.
They are. Dude, the ending to Game 2.
Game 2 was fucking a ride to watch.
Nuts.
Yeah, it was D-Book getting his nose broken, just like Steve Nash did like 10 years ago and shit. And then coming back out and still playing, and then them making that shot and everything. Phoenix is back. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I am very excited because, I don't know sports. Like earlier today, I tried was like the last half, last quarter, the ending. What is the fucking word that basketball uses? That's how bad I am at watching sports. I like to go to live games.
Live games are a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and
I have a blast.
Those live games look so much fun right now.
Yeah.
And so Tommy and I were talking about how everyone's been so like deprived of going out to those types of events that. So tell them what you're hoping is happening.
Oh, so like back in the 80s, Phoenix, like 80s, 90s, Phoenix was like a party city. Like Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, like that's the era where you get like the infamy of the Scottsdale Open, the golf tournament that comes here every year. That's why that's still such a big party.
The Waste Management Open?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have like that was a big thing. But I mean, there's like the 80s hair metal band, the Scorpions. They have a song about Arizona because they came here and partied one night and it was fucking wild and they loved it. So they went and wrote a song about it. Like there's shit like that Arizona had like a very like party centric ideology happening around that time that kind of waned over time. And other cities kind of got known for things. The Phoenix kind of just became the city that's hot, and it became the city that's hot and has shitty sports teams. Like that's all it's been known for. So I'm hoping with the fallout of the pandemic, much like the fallout of the previous pandemic, the Spanish flu in the 1920s, that we're seeing kind of like a roaring 20s revival of people like enjoying live events again more. Because for the past 20 years, you turn on, the past 15 years, you turn on a TV for a live event and the crowd's fucking dead. Like you see like a concert and half the time the crowd's just standing there watching the band and shit. And depending on the band, and so it's like, there's kind of this renewal of like, oh, we can go out and we can enjoy things again. So now we have like this newfound respect for this. And this like, we took this for granted how much fucking fun this is. And no city has shown that more than Phoenix during these conference finals.
Yeah.
Because they have been fucking off the chain. It has been so much fun to watch because that crowd is with that team and that team is feeding off that crowd.
Yeah.
That team 100% would not be there where they're at right now if that crowd was not as hype as they are every time that team scores. It's fucking nuts. Because every time they score, that crowd goes nuts, and those guys immediately go to the crowd and just start like getting hype with them.
Yep.
And it's fucking awesome to watch. And so I hope there's a return, because I was a wrestling fan growing up, and watching crowds go from being these wild fucking maniacs to just being a bunch of fat dudes sitting there was really annoying. It sucked. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they wouldn't even do that. All they would do is boo. That's it. All they would do is boo. And it's like whenever your two options at a live event are sit there or boo, it's like,
why are you there?
Yeah, it's like, that sucks. Like, that's not fun. But so I hope that there's kind of a resurgence, a little bit of a revival in the party. I just want Phoenix to be a party city again.
Yeah. And I actually thought, when he said that, I was like, I kind of am in agreement, because I could give two fucks about most sports unless it's like the last game, because it's usually a party and there's food and wine. But I've been like paying attention, like when we were playing. I wasn't watching the game, but you were telling me about it, and I was like, "So who broke their nose? Like, what happened? Like, what was?" He's like, and then they won, and then they put the time back on the clock.
Yeah, we were playing Dark Alliance together, and I had the game on my second TV in my room.
Yeah,
and so I was watching the game while playing Dark Alliance, and then that whole like back half of that last quarter, I was like, "Holy shit! They're putting more time on the clock. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck's going on?" The refs tried to get the Clippers to win that game so fucking hard, and the Clippers just fell on their face. Fucking magnifique. I fucking love watching it. I hate the Clippers.
Yeah. I'm not really a big fan of basketball at all, but I'm very like, I wouldn't say invested, but I am paying attention more often. It does help that, what's his name?
D-Book
is very attractive. He is very attractive. It helps a lot that he's so attractive.
I mean,
I'm more of a CP3 guy myself.
Nah, DeAndre Ayton. That's my guy. Yeah. I fucking love Ayton. He's such a fucking
Ayton
goofball.
who finally realized that he's a big man and could do big man things.
The fucking, for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, go Google the last shot of Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, because it's DeAndre Ayton catching a ball from Jay Crowder, and the ball is being thrown.
And Crowder passed it in from out of bounds on the backcourt.
Yeah,
right?
He passed it in from out of bounds on the backcourt, and he throws it perfectly.
Lobs it over the hoop.
Yeah, because he's literally at a backwards angle behind the backboard, and there's an angle, a video of the shot from like his angle, and that ball just centimeters.
Yeah, that's a really tough pass to make.
Centimeters from that basket, and he did it perfectly. And DeAndre Ayton grabbed that ball and slammed it in with fucking like 0.8 seconds to go.
Yeah,
I think it was 0.6 actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
It reminded me of Michael Jordan did a similar thing in one of the games where I don't remember if it was a finals game or if it was like a semifinal game, like payoff game or what. But there was 0.6 seconds on the clock. Mm-hmm. And the other team was celebrating, like, yeah, we fucking won. And then the other coach and everything, they show video of him, and he's just standing there looking. Because he's like, I think it was actually when they played the Celtics, because I think it might have been Larry Bird who had played against Jordan. And he's just looking because he's like, I know that they can still win this because they have Jordan. And it's like, so getting the Suns to be able to do that in front of a home crowd that is already hype and being able to do that. I mean, I've rewatched videos of that play over and over again just to hear the fucking crowd.
Yeah, and if you didn't watch the game, Tommy didn't mention it, but the score was 103-102. I think the Suns were down.
Yeah.
So this like last minute dunk with 0.6 seconds on the clock won the game.
Yeah, by 1 point. And even better.
And before the play, Clippers were talking trash to D-Book.
Oh yeah, Clippers were talking trash, and even better, fucking Paul George right before that play missed 2 free throws. So they should have won, but he couldn't seal the on even one of them to tie it up. And so that gave us the opportunity to just get a dunk and fucking blast it.
Does that basket count as 2 points?
Yes.
Because it was thrown so far away?
No. So any shot made where the person who makes the shot is in either the paint or in that
within
semicircle,
the 3-point line.
Yeah, that's 2 points.
Yeah.
Anything outside of that is 3 points. Isn't there a 4-point shot for a half court? Am I thinking of
No, I don't
rules?
think so. I don't think there is.
So this is 3 points outside of that.
So if you were to dribble it up the court and then dunk it in, that's 2 points, not one?
That's 2 points.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't know
You
that.
never score 1 point unless you're shooting free throws.
Yeah.
Free throws are only worth 1
Yeah,
point.
so the way free throws work is if you
And that's why you
get
get 2 of them?
fouled, so you get fouled because let's say you're running up the court to dunk it or something, or just toss it in, and someone fouls you, which means they run into you, they do something, they impede your movement in a way other than just blocking your path.
Yeah.
So let's say you missed that ball, you get 2 free throw shots. If you make that shot and you got fouled still, but you still make the shot, you get those 2 points, and then you get 1 free throw.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So you can turn it into a 3-point.
It's called an and one.
Yeah.
Because they make it and then they have another.
That
and
explains
one. Yeah.
the fucking brand.
The brand? Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Okay.
I never connected it.
Oh. Holy
Yeah.
shit, I just made that realization. I never understood why it was
I
called
always
that
wondered.
one.
I was like, is that Andy or Andy? One? I was
Right.
like, what the fuck? But
Interesting.
shows
I
you how
learned
much
so
I pay attention whenever I'm watching shit sometimes. But yeah, so it's I enjoy basketball a lot.
Yeah, it's been fun watching the Suns for these playoffs. And
Yeah.
what's today's date? They have
The
a game tonight
24th.
starting soon.
Yeah, it's the 24th tonight. So
Game
they're
3.
They're currently
right?
spoiler alert. Yeah, it's game 3. They're currently up 2-0
Well,
against
it's not
the Clippers.
spoiler. We don't know the future. This episode's going to come out on
Well,
Monday.
no, I'm saying spoiler alert if anyone hasn't watched the game.
Wait, so game 3 is tonight. Game 4, I'm guessing, is Saturday.
Yeah.
So at this point, by this time this episode airs, Suns in 4 might have happened.
Suns in 4 might have happened.
Suns in 4?
But here's what everyone's like, oh shit, is because the Clippers twice this postseason have been down in a series 0-2 and come back.
Yes, but to be fair, which is like this is good for us. Chris Paul's coming back, and I think Kawhi is still out,
He is. Yeah, he's not going to be back.
and so
he's not going to be back for the playoffs. If he's not back right now, he's not coming.
yeah, so we're getting Chris Paul back, and then like the Clippers are still short their best player, so
Yeah.
it's really good for the Suns.
Yeah, and the Clippers, you can tell. I mean, the next 3 games, if it goes to 5, are going to suck because I just looked up tickets for them, and it's all in LA.
Yeah,
So that kind of sucks because we don't have home field advantage, and we got to deal with an LA crowd.
yeah. Well, game 1 was here in Phoenix, right?
Game 1 and 2.
Game 1 and 2, yeah. But there's like there's some stat that like series that start and the team that wins in the home like us team that wins at home on game 1 have like a 65% chance of winning.
Yeah, you get home field advantage. Yeah.
But the rest of the series they have a better chance of winning the series.
Oh, really?
History has shown. So the
Interesting.
fact that we're already 2 wins up, and then the next games are away, like we're still good.
I'll tell. The only reason I'm worried is because the games have been close.
Yeah.
The only reason, or some of the reasons I'm not worried, is you can see on TV that this team is fucking hungry. Like they want these wins, and they are enjoying being the best team out there right now.
Yes.
The Hawks in the Eastern Conference are also doing very good, and they have Trae Young, who is doing very well.
Trae Young's an animal.
Yeah, and so that I'm like, I kind of want to see D-Book and Trae Young.
That would be wild.
Go head to head. That'd be fucking fun.
This has kind of been so the last season of football, I was a bartender and I got to be there for every Cardinals game. And
I'm sorry. I'm just apologizing for you. I'm sorry.
Sorry you had to watch the Cardinals.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I would never want to be put in that position.
Well, so I don't give a shit if they're playing or not. I kind of give a shit when the Dallas Cowboys are playing. Because that was my dad's team. I kind of like just have to pay attention a little bit. But it also brings in a fuck ton of people to give me all of their money. Especially when they're doing really good and they get real drunk.
I hate being in a bar when there's
Dude,
football on.
Not even, well, like, for the bars that you worked at, when there were like basketball or football games on, you didn't charge people per head, right? To come in?
No.
So when there was a big fight that the UFC was doing like a while ago, me and some friends wanted to go to a bar to watch it. When it's UFC, because it's pay-per-view, bars charge you per head to get in.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
To make
I hate
It's
that.
to make up for the pay.
But that's dumb. They have like a total of what, like 15 TVs in the house? Like you don't have to charge people $30 per head.
correct.
That is dumb. But I always
But
went
they
to,
will because people will. So this is why they'll come and they'll sit there the entire.
They're going to make their money
match.
back off those people, though. Food and drinks the whole 2 hours.
Not always though. Some people come, they eat, they drink a couple
Just
times.
let me be upset at this game.
Oh no! You're valid of being upset. I think it's bullshit. The company should just eat it.
The bars I've always been to when they have fights they charge like a premium head count, where you can pay this much and you basically get a better seat within the bar.
Yeah.
And then you can pay like a lower one to just get a regular seat in the bar somewhere, or like not. It's like sitting at the bar versus sitting like not at the bar and stuff like that. But I know like Buffalo Wild Wings and stuff, like that's where we did a lot of our fight watching sometimes. And I think it was only like $5 or $10 a head.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with because I'm like, I don't know how you're doing your pay-per-view thing with all these CDs. I don't know how many times you're having to buy it or anything. So
the one fight that we wanted to watch, Buffalo Wild Wings wasn't showing it. So we had to go to like some kind of like nicer, kind of like upscale sports bar. So that was the problem. Because that fight wasn't being widely shown.
Yeah, anytime I want to go to a bar, I stay away from Scottsdale.
Yeah, it was the
that's why
it was the Logan Paul fight. Jake Paul fight.
Jake Paul versus
I can't remember
Ben Askren.
Ben Askren, yeah.
So
that wasn't UFC. That was broadcast by Triller or whatever.
Yeah, Triller. Yeah, UFC had nothing to do with those. Neither did the boxing commission.
Yeah.
You have a surround sound system.
I do.
You could just invite all of us, everyone here, and we can all split it however many ways.
That's what we ended up doing instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, we have a bunch of alcohol, and I can make literally almost anything that you want. And you basically...
I don't think you were here that night.
I wasn't. Yeah. I came at the end.
Yeah, I think both of us were gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying for future reference, because it does suck.
I'm usually not going to pay for fights unless it's like one of these Paul guys, because I want to watch one of them just get fucked eventually.
Well, and that's my problem is currently they've had two or three fights and none of them have gotten fucked up. So
nope.
I don't want to pay.
It's fucking rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really just want to watch them Mortal Kombat get, like, I just want someone to rip fucking their spine out of their body.
I want to see one of them cry.
Yeah, I just want permanent damage.
Just never show their face again.
Mm-hmm. I want
both of those brothers
luck.
can just fuck off.
I want their eye sockets to get fucked. I want fractures in their face. I want lots of bad things to happen to those two people.
I did watch a little bit of like Logan Paul stuff after he fought Mayweather. Mm-hmm. He's gotten a little bit better. He's not as much of a douche as he used to be when he did like the Suicide Forest stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. I still just hate him.
Yeah, same.
Like I'm just like you. I've known you since the Vine days.
Which one of these?
You've been a piece of shit.
Little pieces of shit went to the
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul went to the Scottsdale Mall and stole a bunch of shit.
Jake Paul. During the BLM riot.
They've both done some terrible stuff.
They're just really just the stupidest motherfuckers.
They're literally they're just jocks. They're like modern day jocks, which is
and how they got started is even worse because they were just jocks that did like stupid dance videos on Vine.
Yeah,
that's how they got started. I can't remember the name of their like group or whatever, but it's terrible.
I don't know. It's stupid. I watched one of the like just some person who was trying to get famous off of like their hype at the time. Everyone decides they want to fucking do music at some point when they get a little bit of recognition, and not your kind of music. I meant like they want to sing and they can't sing.
Yeah.
Like James Charles tries to sing and everyone just fucking makes fun of him for it because he can't sing. And it's been years. Please stop.
You're going to eat these words when I become a famous rapper, Gabe.
Rapping's not singing.
I know. But you just said music, so.
Yeah. Okay. Let me specify. Singing.
Gotcha.
So this one tried to sing. They made a music video. And you can see these two motherfuckers and the rest of their group and all these other people not knowing what the fuck to do for a music video. And it's a really awful music video to watch. And I watched it once and I was like, I think this is the first YouTube video I'm going to thumbs down. Because of how fucking awful this is.
I am very liberal with my thumbs downs on YouTube.
Really?
I give them out all the time.
I only use them when I'm like actually like physically upset at a video. Like I'm like, this is almost retarded.
Dude, what's dumb is YouTube, and I found this out since like our videos are now posted on YouTube. You have the ability as a YouTube creator to take away the ability to dislike a video.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you can leave the thumbs up and you can get likes, but you can take away the dislikes. You can make it not an option.
Why don't all these companies do it, like EA and shit, where they get those videos that are...
Some have.
That must be new.
That's so that like
I don't think so. It's been around for a year at least, or if not longer.
I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy nut, but that's like actual like weird like 1984 shit. Like like
when BlizzCon did like the Diablo reveal for the mobile, they started like erasing dislikes or just hiding it in general.
That's right.
Yeah, you remember hearing about that? And that was what, 2-3 years ago, if not more?
Yeah, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
I don't understand why you would do that though, because don't you want feedback for what you're putting out?
Yeah, you want feedback, but you also don't want the community to rip you a new asshole.
But if you deserve it,
It's a double-edged sword.
It's a corporate thing. It's like if we put something out, we put a ton of money into this.
Yeah.
We're not going to let these fat fucks on YouTube burn it.
Well, and especially Blizzard, because they are a public company, they have to report to shareholders.
Yeah,
And
so-
if the board sees that, like, oh, this product we're putting out has, a ratio of 5 to 95 likes to dislikes on a YouTube video, and no one's going to buy this mobile game, they're like, why did we invest millions of dollars into making this product?
Yeah, 'cause
and
that-
someone's gonna get fired, or teams are gonna get fired.
Yeah, because that
And so they want to
triggers
hide that stuff because shareholders get scared.
Yeah, and that triggers news stories to be written and shit.
Yeah.
Like I think when that happened, it was like the second most disliked video on YouTube or something.
Probably.
And everyone was like tweeting about it and everything, like, "Oh, finally passed into this threshold." Like if you think,
It was a big deal.
Yeah, if you think the most liked videos on YouTube are like the ones that everyone looks at, it's always the most disliked.
That's true, because I didn't watch the reveal till I saw that it was like had an
most.
ungodly amount of dislikes, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, because if you see
Well,
a
look
bunch
this
of
up.
likes, you're like, oh, that must be cool. If you see a bunch of dislikes, you're like, what the fuck happened here?
Right, yeah.
Like, whoa.
which I mean, like any publicity is good publicity, I guess, but for
When
the
you're-
sake
You
of
know,
the company,
everyone
they're like,
said
I don't
that.
like this.
I think that's true, but probably until you become public, and then you're like, now
Yeah.
we need to monitor.
Mhm.
Well, everyone.
We need to North Korea this.
I always think whenever someone says that now, everyone said that. Everyone said that about Miley Cyrus when she did her weird little fucking thing at the
Yeah.
VMAs or whatever it was.
Which one?
And like the first one where she like completely came
She
out.
was
like,
really weird.
Yeah, in the nude bathing suit and everything like that with Robin Thicke.
Yeah.
And did all that shit. Everyone was like, well, she's just, any publicity is good publicity. And I was like, yeah, but where's she at now? And how many people respect her? Because I'm like, yeah, you get your name out there, but you just become a trash person in the eyes of most of the people.
Yeah, but at that point, with her and whoever publishes her music, it's not about whether she's a trash person or not, or if people perceive her to be a
Yeah.
trash person. It's about that money.
Yeah.
That's true.
And she was in her early 20s at the time?
Probably a little older.
I
would
just
think.
don't.
20s?
I just don't understand the pursuit. I understand the pursuit of money. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
wants fucking money. I get that, but there's like a cap where it's like, okay, I have enough to throw into real estate and accounts where I'm making money off my money, pretty worry free. I don't have to do anything for the rest of my life.
Greed
My
is a
house-
dangerous drug.
Well, yeah, but it's like my house is paid for. I've got the cars I want. That's it. Like I can just live life. I can go travel where I want. I can do whatever I want. And the entire time, my bank accounts, my stocks, my CDs, whatever,
Yeah.
they're all making money. Why do people pursue like a fucking like 9-figure?
It's because
Net
when
worth.
when people get set is when they realize, like, I have nothing else to pursue, and then they find out that they're not happy with themselves,
Yep.
and like
This is
they're
true.
not
Yeah.
internally happy, and then so instead of like addressing that issue and learning how to love life and learning how to have a good time, they just shift their focus and go to the next goal of, instead of 8 figures, let's get 9
Insanity
figures. Yeah.
is what, that's what that leads to.
Yeah.
Because people who have those, that's why everyone's always like, oh, look how much money they have. Like, they're still depressed. Yes, because they made all this money. They have everything they wanted that they thought they wanted.
Turns out, wasn't it?
Turns out they actually just have issues
Yeah.
inside.
I would like to experience that.
To be, yeah.
Please blow up this podcast.
That's why I specifically said I understand the pursuit of money, because I was talking about money and I could see Tanner's like, oh, let him say I don't understand why people want money. Because I mean, like, boy, no, I get it. Like, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't understand. I guess for me, my main goal in life, money wise, like anytime I think about like wanting a shit ton of money, it's not necessarily so I can have the most extravagant things.
Yeah.
It's so I can be safe.
financially free.
Yeah, so I can,
That's the goal.
So that
Yeah.
I can be at home doing whatever I want all day long. And if my friends call me up and like, hey, let's go get a nice room in Vegas for the weekend or a nice couple rooms in Vegas, I have the funds to be able to facilitate that for them.
Mm-hmm.
And we can just go do it and have fun and not worry about anything and not worry about like, oh shit, I got to get the cheapest thing on the menu because I spent a little too much on the room
Yeah.
or I gambled a little bit too much. It's like, I would just prefer the safety net.
I
type
agree.
of money.
Yeah, you want to like have like your means of living taken care of. You want to have retirement taken care of. You want to have like a regular income coming in from like multiple different cash flows, and then you're just like, yeah, I'm free to do whatever I want. That's the dream.
Yeah.
So what happens when that happens to you is you get bored. You don't have enough things to occupy yourself. And that's what happens when they're like, well, I have all this money. I guess I need to spend all this other money.
But that's why I would travel and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I agree. I think
I would pursue
that's,
my hobbies, you know?
that's what people are supposed to do.
Masturbation's not a hobby.
But if you are
Sure it is.
if you are a singer or an actress,
Cool, so I have 3 hobbies. Anyway.
if you're a singer or an actress and that is your hobby is your livelihood, how are you supposed to
Yeah.
let your emotions out if you have
No,
there's not a
everything
line
in the
there.
I mean,
world?
I understand that. I understand, like, I'm not saying people who continue making money after making, like, an insane amount of money are all, like, bad people or anything, like, in the hunt for money. But, because, like, there's people who, like, I enjoy being a singer, so I'm going to continue singing, and that's going to give me an insane amount of money each year. And that's fucking awesome if that's what you do. If I were to make, like, hit the lottery, let's say, I'd buy a house, I'd put a bunch of money into savings accounts, into real estate accounts, into stocks. I'd probably hire Tanner as a financial advisor and give him a good salary.
Tight.
And I would make
We
sure.
already have a binding word that he has to be mine.
What I would do,
We gotta start buying
basically-
lottery tickets.
dude, for real. But what I would do basically is make sure that my friends are all in a position where if anything happens life-wise, like, like let's say I lose all my money or something like that, we all have homes. Or we all have places to live. We all are in a position where we don't have to pay rent. We can still go get a regular job again, and we don't have to deal with rent. We don't have to deal with car payments. We don't have to deal with all that stuff. And so, but if I had that kind of money, I would 100% build a studio in my home and work on electronic music and stuff like that,
Yeah.
dark synth and everything. And because I have all that money all the time, I'd probably be pretty good at it, and I would eventually have a following, and I might eventually be able to make money off that too. That's just making money off your hobby. I'm talking about the greedy assholes who are like, yeah, I'll come, I'll come sing at your festival. It'll be $10 million.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Damn.
so like, I mean, I know you know your worth and shit, but if this is like what you love to do and you have the money, why are you? I mean, I guess I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like, the money's
it is.
there. If the money's there, fucking go for it, right? Like anyone's gonna say that. If someone is offering you $7 million to come sing at a festival, and you say, "I want $10 million," they say, "Okay," then fucking you get $10 million. Like
Yeah.
fucking go for it. I'm not gonna dog on you for that. I just don't understand the hoarding of money.
Yeah.
And just like I've got fucking 10 figures in my bank account, and it's like, well, good for you, but why? Like,
Yeah.
what's the point?
There was a clip that I watched where someone said, I want Mariah Carey money, where someone's interviewing her. This was probably forever ago. And someone's saying, she's in a different country. They're in like the UK somewhere. And he's asking her, well, yeah, when you like have to pay for prescriptions and other bills and stuff. And she goes, whose bill?
Jesus.
Like with
Christ.
all in like sincerity. And he's like, Bill, like, bills you pay and, like your medicine and stuff. And she's just like, it's just free. And he's like, it's not free in America. And she goes, in America, it's free.
Oh,
And he's like,
God.
oh, so you don't even know where the money's going.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like-
disconnected. That's
Yeah.
insane.
There was
But think
someone-
about how fucking famous she had gotten so quickly
Yeah.
from back then.
No, yeah,
and she has never left her fucking pedestal.
Let's look and see what her projected net worth is. But there was someone, I forgot who it was. I want to say Tom Hanks, but I do not think that is right. There was someone who they were doing a thing where they were like, let's see how disconnected celebrities are. And they were asking them, how much do you think a loaf of bread is at the store? And they were all like, $9-10.
Jesus.
And they were like, what? Like, you think a loaf of bread is... Mariah Carey's net worth is $520 million.
Damn.
See, that is money where it's like, fucking awesome. I'm glad you have all that money. It would be sure as shit awesome to be able to, like, lose $100,000 one night to, like, fucking out of my purse or some shit
Yeah.
and just forget about it because I don't fucking care. But, like, Post Malone. There's a video of Post Malone gambling in Las Vegas, and he's talking about how I take $100,000 with me to Las Vegas every single time. And, so if I lose it, it's not a big deal. And I'm like, fuck.
That's nuts.
I'm
dude.
like, holy shit. Like, because he's
nuts.
probably making that in streams and shit, like, monthly. Like, just in streams on, like, one platform.
That's
So
crazy.
It's like, shit like that. It's like, man, it's like, I feel like if I had that money, I would at least make sure everyone around me was comfortable first. And I don't know, like pay off debts and everything, because I could not spend that kind of money without feeling like an awful person.
Dude, no.
Like watching my friends struggle with shit while I'm just sitting there on my fucking pile of bills.
Yeah.
In Italy, smoking a cigar, drinking wine, just FaceTiming your friend, and they're just like, "Well, I just don't know, can't pay. Some things do, but I don't have to. I don't have money to eat." And it's like, "Oh, I'm just going to pick up ramen." And you're just like, "Oh, well, that's really sucky."
Yeah, I won't be
imagine?
moving to Italy.
If
No, I know, but it's the only one I could think of.
if
I'll be
we
moving somewhere where the women are beautiful.
if we move to Prague though, and
Oh yeah,
and
got
signed
some
a
time.
contract with the devil, we'd spend that money way better than Matthew did
Dude,
from A Goat Story.
Go watch
Yeah.
A Goat Story on YouTube. One of Tanner's friends, a friend of the show.
What a great segue.
She told him to watch it, and first off, get very blitzed and watch it, because it is a fucking ride.
It is
Oddly entertaining.
simultaneously the worst movie I've ever seen, but also one of the best movies I've ever seen.
It's, to me, it's honestly in probably one of my favorite movies, just because it 100% proves you do not need Pixar level graphics or DreamWorks level graphics, like textures and shit, to create a funny movie. It's not the best movie story wise or anything, but it's funny. It's funny not in a way of like, oh, it's so bad it's funny. Like, there's genuinely good fucking jokes in there.
Yeah.
Like, the writing team was great on it. It just looks like shit, and it's such a weird art style and shit.
yeah.
And there's a sequel we need to watch.
yeah.
For the first, I think 10 to 15 minutes, my mouth was just open because I was just so uncomfortable and intrigued.
Uncomfortable is a good word for
Uncomfortable and intrigued about what was happening. And then there was a couple times when something, like, it wasn't a word that was said or a phrase, something happened in the background or an animation happened, and I was like, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Like, there's that scene where the guy's walking him, he grabs Matthew and just starts hiring him for the job. He didn't ask for, or not Matthew, the main character guy. I forgot his name.
Oh, Jimmy?
Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how safe it is and everything, and there's guys dying all around him, and as he's talking, he's marking tallies on the chalkboard.
Yeah, dude, it's really funny.
It's fucking hilarious.
If you guys haven't heard of A Goat Story, it's on YouTube. It's called A Goat Story, like a Prague Legend or something, and it's
A Goat Story, Old Prague, or
Old
something.
Prague Legend, something like that. But it's a movie that was made in like Chechnya or something. It was animated from there, and like they got like English actors to dub it over, and the movie did so poorly that they put it on YouTube for free. The movie had a budget of 1.8 million and it made 1.3. So they lost 500 grand on this movie and was like, let's put it on YouTube. And the title of the YouTube is like the title of the movie, and then dash free children's movie or something like that.
Yeah.
And then within like the first 10 minutes of the movie, you meet like the main girl who's got fucking huge boobs.
Huge
And then
boobs.
there's a little child who you continuously see his penis through the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's obviously not a movie for children.
Yeah.
It's
That
so
ass
funny
creature.
to me.
Oh yeah, the weird hairy little ass creature. It's
Wow.
like yeah, it is a fucking ride, but it's probably fun to watch sober. I highly recommend
I
you
had
watch
fun
it.
watching
Yeah,
it.
if you
I highly
dabble
recommend you watch it high.
in le drugs, I recommend you get really fucking high and watch it.
Yeah,
The movie is like a fever dream, but in like the best way.
Oh my
It
God,
also
yes, it
doesn't
is.
explain like anything.
No.
Like,
No.
why is Jimmy going to Prague?
Nope, doesn't understand.
And then like we
well,
learned that he
he's
likes
going to
wood
Prague.
carving.
He's going to Prague to be a sculptor. He wants to be a famous.
Oh,
sculptor.
is that the reason?
Yeah.
And then, but as he's going into Prague, Matthew, the bad guy, is also there.
Matthew's
We
story?
never understood why.
Never is told. It's
No.
weird.
He
It's-
just signs
yeah.
to deal with the devil and turns into like the bad guy to fit the story.
Yeah, it
for
turns
some
into
reason.
Waluigi Matthew. But yeah, no. But I kept telling Gabe, like, the minute the scene loaded up and the color palette hit and everything, and you're seeing all the animation, I'm sitting there and I'm blasted because I made sure to get far too high for it. And I'm sitting there and I'm
good.
like, I've had nightmares here. I was like, I shit you not. I've had nightmares in this color palette, in this scene. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is like a fever dream.
Dude,
It kind of reminds me of Majora's Mask a little bit, like where
Yeah.
it's like a
It's got weird,
It's
like, old video
unsettling.
game graphics on it. and some shots.
it definitely does. But like the people who animated this, every single scene has something funny or like weird happening in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's never dull, even though the story like doesn't make sense and you're kind of not super interested in the story for the movie. Everything else keeps you watching it, and it's
Yeah,
like
it's a movie-
charming, it's disturbing. It's like it's hard to take your eyes off of it,
Yeah,
even though
anyone-
it's really really bad.
Anyone who says that they were bored watching this movie, you're a fucking liar.
True.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
a
fucking
trip.
ending, dude.
It's the ending, all of it, just all of it. That like the reveal of how the main girl gets her nails. I'm not gonna explain it.
Oh,
yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is this fucking movie?
And I thought that was supposed to loop around at some point. It doesn't.
No.
But
no, it's just like, yep, crazy shit happens in
And
Prague.
I mean, like,
and that's the like the whole thing of the story is the beginning introduction is only in Prague. Like,
Yeah.
And weird shit happens in Prague.
Yeah.
I just love how they also chose to make Goat like some obnoxious, like drunk girl
Yeah.
who's constantly horny for Jimmy.
No, yeah, oh yeah, there's bestiality. Like
Definitely.
there's 100% bestiality in the movie. I'm pretty sure Goat is the first. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm pretty sure she's the first certain type of character in animation.
History.
Yeah,
Probably.
because I mean, it's like there's a scene where it's like, is this happening?
Yeah.
Like, is this Goat doing this?
Goat carried the movie, dude.
Goat carried the movie, and Goat is also voiced by like obviously someone in a dorm room with their phone who's like was doing this for like a $5 deal or something.
Yeah.
But
This
No, all the actors for this movie did it for sexual favors. They didn't get paid.
from a goat.
Yeah.
Ew. Well, that's uncomfortable. But yeah, everyone should go and watch this movie because it is fucking hilarious. And it's a movie you can watch probably multiple times because,
Oh, I plan
like
on it.
Tanner said, there's multiple things happening in each scene. It's fucking wild. Watch it. It's great. It gives you... I don't know why I want to keep comparing it to Shrek.
No, that
But-
was my first comparison. I was like, it's like an hour and 20 minutes long, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is like shitty Shrek.
It's Shrek without the budget or the story, but all the same charm.
Yeah.
In my
That's a good way to
opinion,
put it.
I would rather rewatch that than rewatch Shrek.
I've seen Shrek too many times,
Well, I've
so
seen
I'd
Shrek too many
agree
times,
with
and
you.
Shrek is kind of long.
Yeah.
Compared to that one's very quick, and every scene has something. Like they know when like a scene's about to get boring, and so they just throw some random shit in the
Yeah.
background.
They do. And every time I'm like, oh, I'll look down now. I look up and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Every time. I could not be on my phone.
It's
to
like the
send any
scene in the
messages.
church, like they show the pastors and like how they're all just eating food, and it's kind of random, and then they show all the poor people in the back, and there's like a skeleton, and then there's a little kid pissing on the wall. It's just like a bunch of random
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a bunch of weird shit. But so now that we've told you all to watch it, next week, if it gets brought up anymore in our lives, I'm not warning you for spoilers.
No, and
You should watch it this week.
we should at some point watch the second one.
I don't know. I'm scared to. I don't think it'll live up to the first one.
Yeah. You watch it, Tommy, and let me know.
Yeah. Get
I
really blazed.
really don't want to watch it.
and let us know.
Just get
Sequels always disappoint me.
Especially since they got rid of the voice actor for Goat. I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I think they
feel
changed it out for a male voice actor, which is going to make it 1,000 times
It's
funnier.
weird. How does that happen?
I don't know.
Unless it's not the same Goat. It's not a
No, it's the
direct
same
sequel.
Goat.
Oh, it is.
Because the second movie is about Jimmy and whatever her name's kids and the goat.
What's the title of it? Like a goat story?
A goat story
with cheese.
2 with cheese.
With cheese.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so go watch that. And then come back for, I guess, highlights. And we might be very hype about the Suns.
Oh, we're going to
depending
be
on
very
what
hyped
happens.
about the Suns. Suns at 4, baby. Suns
Hopefully.
at 4.
All right. But thank you all for coming back to Do Loft Mountain. As always, if you want to talk to us about anything, hit us up on Twitter, which is Dude Loft Mountain. No, it's not.
Yeah. Dude Loft MTN. Dude Loft Mountain.
MTN.
On Twitter. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Watch the board game episode that came out on Friday. It's a good time.
Oh, yeah, because this comes out on Monday.
Yep.
So that's perfect. Yeah. So, yeah, go watch that. Go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch it.
Yeah, and if you want to know which one I am, I'm the blonde one.
Yeah. And I'm going to be removing the dislike button, so you guys can't do that. Yeah. So watch it.
I would be so upset. I would be so upset. I would find that person.
I have the login, so I'll just log in, re-enable it, and then dislike it with a bunch of other...
No.
All right. Okay. But thank you guys for coming, listening, and share.